Hi, happy UK Fungus Day. My name is James Scurry and I'm here, would you believe, at the amazing Kew Gardens in West London, where I've been accepted as a visiting researcher, all because of mycology. And I can tell you, as a journalist and a mental health professional, which is what I do as my day job, I couldn't have been more surprised to find myself in this absolutely stunning location doing my research. But it's true that fungi and mycology has really kind of helped me. I work in newsrooms with really distressing videos and a difficult time in history, covering things like war and conflict and Brexit and the pandemic. And I was really sort of finding that my mental health was suffering. And so I became interested in mycology and fungi. I'm no expert at all. I'm very much an amateur. But the wonderful thing is, there are places like Kew Gardens, which has a huge array of resources on fungi and mycology that are accessible to all of us, should we be interested in exploring this incredibly understudied field. And so let me take you through now, I guess, a little bit of how I got involved in mycology and fungi. I'm still at the very beginning of my journey here at the Jodrell Library. You can see it's a beautiful sunny day here in Kew, not too cold. I'm sure the fungi will be coming up through the soil soon. For those of you who are out on forays for UK Fungus Day, I'm just taking you into the Jodrell Laboratory building now because I wanted to show you a little article that I wrote. For those of you who are subscribers on the British Mycological Society's website, do take a moment if you can to check out the August edition of the Field Mycology Journal. If you go all the way down to page 101, you will find a story that I have written, which is about me as somebody who doesn't know anything about mycology and fungi, but is very interested in learning. And this is a story about how bioluminescent fungi, would you believe, helped to restore my mental health. I was at an exhibition at the Natural History Museum looking at some incredible photos of nature, and I came across this incredible picture by Jürgen Frund. It's bioluminescent ghost fungi climbing up a tree in a rainforest in Australia, and you can see it's fascinating the way that green glow has been captured. They don't know the reason, we haven't yet found the reason or understood why the fungi glows in that way. And I just thought that was absolutely fascinating as a journalist, as someone who doesn't really get to cover those types of stories. We don't do a lot of nature stories in that way, at least not about really interesting things like fungi and mycology. I hadn't really ever explored the world. So here I am now as a visiting researcher in Jodrell Laboratory in Kew Gardens. I'm going to take you down into the laboratory's basement. It's quite noisy down here. There's a lot of machines, but there's also a mecca, an exciting little room. I like to call it the mecca of mycology and fungi literature. Not too many people know that it's here, but of course, if you're interested in doing some research, you can come and access the books and the literature. You'll hear the noise as I open the doors here, just walking you backwards now. Very noisy part of Kew Gardens, Jodrell Laboratory, but what we do have here is the incredible, da-da-da-da. This room here is the British Mycological Society's library. And if you're here on a certain day of the week, you'd find the amazing Geoffrey Kibbe, an author who you probably, if you're interested in mycology, will know a little bit about. Geoffrey's often sitting here putting together, amongst other things, the Field Mycology Journal, the British Mycological Society Journal. Geoffrey's the editor, but he's also been a great inspiration to me as someone who doesn't really know much about fungi. I'm still learning. I'm still at the very beginning of my foray into fungi, as I like to call it. But what I really like about mycology is there's so many people willing to help you learn. And I think that's why UK Fungus Day is an absolutely fantastic opportunity for us, particularly for those of you who might be maybe on your phones quite a lot, maybe on TikTok, maybe on Netflix. Whilst, of course, those things are fun, for your mental health, there's nothing better than connecting with nature. And what better way to do it than to go out and exploring on those forays and really getting your hands in the dirt and reconnecting with Mother Nature. I found that has been a really powerful thing for me as a journalist. as someone who's often, as I've said, covering news stories that are not about the nicest things in the world. Coming here to the BMS library once a week has been an absolute lifesaver for me, and it's been super interesting. So I'm currently in the very early stages of writing a children's book, which I have the amazing Jeffrey Kibbe helping me with, picking out some fungi to include. And I'm really passionate about talking about the ways in which mycology and fungi can help us with our mental health. So happy UK Fungus Day from everyone here at Kew Gardens, and I wish you all the best on your next forays.